Hello and welcome to another episode of Mom Fine. I am your host, Alexis. In this episode, we literally jump right back into our backpacking trip. So I just wanted to give a little intro just in case you haven't listened to the previous episodes, episode 8 and 9. I recommend listening to those two before jumping into this one. But pretty much that's all I got. Enjoy this episode and love you guys.
Okay, hello. Today we spent the day in Colmar, France, which is the little town that Beauty and the Beast was based off of. It was so cute and we just had so much fun romping around the little town. We did the chocolate museum, which literally just takes you throughout the whole history of cacao and chocolate, and so totally recommend that. And then but before we did that, we did lunch at Jadis et Gourmande. Probably not even saying that right. It's JADIS space ET space GOURMANDE. Super recommend them. Super freaking good. And then after the chocolate factory, we were honestly so tired and so dehydrated because it was just like so hot and so sunny that we found this cafe that we could just sit and rehydrate. And then we ended up doing like 3 shots of the Jägermeister, which just like revived us, which ended up allowing us to get back up and finally go take some pictures because it was so bright and sunny that just none of the photos were coming out good. And so we were finally able to just like romp around and take our photos. And Colmar is just like such a pretty old town and the buildings are just super colorful and just like lovely. So it was honestly just like fun to just walk around and explore this area because it was just like such a pretty place and spot. And then for dinner, we went to Le Fer Rouge. It's LE space FER space ROUGE. And that spot was really good too. We got really lucky with our table because they had one table available when we got there, but the reviews recommended booking and making a reservation prior. But I bet if you went like not during peak season, that you would be like totally fine too. And so yeah, that was like basically Colmar. I really don't think you would need more than a day or two. Like if you wanted to, you could go and take the bus out to some of the other wineries and we also went wine tasting, but it was just like this little winery and we tried 2 wines and then we got a bottle and we wanted to like stay and drink the bottle, but then they kind of were like, no, you gotta go, like we're locking up or we're doing something, so we're gonna try to save it for our next spot. And then our hotel that we're staying is like a little bit on the outskirts of Colmar, so it's still like a 20-25 minute walk to get into the city or like the little town. And we're staying at Hotel Arc en Ciel, so it's Hotel Arc and then EN space CIEL, and it's really cute. The lady that like checked us in, like she's been so accommodating. We asked to like have an early check-in and at first we didn't think we were gonna get it, and then we did, so that was really cool. And then tomorrow we're leaving super early and she's gonna open up breakfast early for us. Breakfast wasn't included, but we paid for it because it was like 11 euros, and we're like, yeah, let's just do that because we're not gonna want to be dealing with breakfast and we have a super long travel day tomorrow. So far, like I totally recommend it if you don't mind the walk into Colmar, or like into like the hub of it. And then if not, then there's probably a lot more hotels that you can stay at. But I mean, other than that, it was a good day and it was so fun. And I'm really freaking tired, and so I'm gonna just leave it at that. Bye.
Okay, you guys, we made it to Amsterdam, but we gotta do a recap of what the fuck happened in Bern. Allie's gonna tell the story while I'm doing my makeup.
Basically, Lexi had gone to take a shower, and so, like, the terrace has, like, 3 separate, it's, like, 1 terrace, but 3 separate rooms, so, like, everybody has access to the same terrace.
Yeah.
And so I was out on the terrace, like, sewing up a shirt or something, and this guy comes out from, like, the middle room. We're on the end, and then there's another one right here. Mm-hmm. And so he comes out, and he's just like, oh, hi, and I was like, oh, hey, like, what's up? Mm-hmm. And we started, like, striking up a conversation. He's like, oh, yeah, I don't remember what his name was, but he was basically like, yeah, I'm 28, like I'm from Vietnam, we are here on a business trip, like they're paying for us to stay here for 2 weeks. It's like, oh, cool, love that. And so like after the conversation, like later that night we went out and came back home, and like the rooms in Switzerland are insulated, so it's like they don't have any windows, because especially when it's colder, they don't want you to freeze. And so I woke up around like 1:30 in the morning just dying of heat. So I go and like crack open the door, get back in bed. All of a sudden, somebody opens our door and walks in. And he's like, oh, sorry, wrong room. And I was like, okay. Like, I can understand that. Like, it's dark. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
30 minutes pass. He comes in again.
No.
And he, like, sounds like he, like, wants to, like, strike up a conversation. And I am the only one awake.
No.
And I'm like, get out. Like, this is not your room. Like, leave. And I could not even imagine what would have happened if nobody was awake. Like, I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts.
Yeah, would he have just
and
stood
so,
there and murdered
so
someone?
I was like, is he gonna murder me? Is he gonna rape me? Or is he gonna steal shit? Like,
oh my god.
She was like, if I have to write his like blood Vietnam, or where he's
like,
from, or
like,
some clue.
so like just some random shit. And like Lexi woke up the first time around and she was like, oh, like thought it was a dream. And then she woke up the second time to hear me like yelling at this guy to
So
leave.
he really just stood in there and wouldn't go.
Like, because there's a curtain, and so like the first time, okay,
Wild.
interesting.
Wild.
But the second time, he's like, oh, I like wanting to talk, and I was like, get the
clearly
fuck
in bed.
It's 2 in the morning.
Trying
What the
to
fuck are
sleep.
you doing in here? Like,
he must have been fucking...
so I was like, are you drunk? Like, are you? Because it's very hard to like miss your room considering you're in the middle.
And the
You're
fact
not
that
on
he
the end.
left, figuring out
And
it
then-
wasn't his room, and then came back.
And
Right?
that's what we think
Weird.
might have happened, is because we had 2 other girls in our room the day before, and so it was just me and Lexi before our other roommates came in. And so what we think might have happened is he wanted to scope out and see who was in there, and if it was just us girls in there. Like, it was just very unsettling.
Yeah, very unsettling and just like very like creepy. And then also same hostel, some dirty bitch stole my towel, my shower towel. I was like, ew, that is so gross.
Someone steal my... We call them thongs, but you call
Oh
them
yeah,
flip-flops.
I lived in Oz for like a year.
Oh, you
so I
did, so you
love
know,
Oz.
okay.
Oh my god.
Some chick stole mine at a hostel. I was like, what the fuck? Like, go buy your own pair for €5.
Yeah. Well, guys, that's where we're at. Don't know where we're gonna be later. When we got here, there's freaking weed, sex shops, all the good stuff. Like, I'm so excited. You know, your girl loves to smoke, and I'm just so excited to get high. So that's it. That's a little check-in, and see you later.
All right, I'm gonna do this really quick because I'm whispering because I'm outside my hostel and I want to go to bed. I'm so tired, but we're in freaking Amsterdam, like I said before. It's freaking awesome here, and it was just like amazing. We got here by train. It was this freaking long ass train, but it was good, like 7.5 hours. Got to our hostel. Hostel's hella fun. Restaurant's good. Bar is good, and we're in like the red light district. Like, we're literally like 2 streets up from like the prostitutes and stuff, and we just walked over there. I was like, oh my god, that's so fucking wild. But then we got here, we checked in, walked around. The red light district was kind of fucking a lot. Like, it was a little intense. Like, everything. It was like sex shops and like just but the weed cafes are so fucking awesome. Like, oh, it was awesome. So we did like walked around, got settled, ate, got some J's. I don't remember where we went. We went to Choco Delight for dessert, and that was good. And I don't know, we went to Hill Street Blues Cafe, and then I don't remember what dispensary we went to, but like you can just get weed, like you can find it. And then after that we did a canal boat ride of the area, and like all the canals, and then we get to like the really, really nice spots of Amsterdam. Like, oh shit, it was so fucking cool. Like, oh, amazing. Like, I love Amsterdam. I might take this place as like my favorite place so far. Like, it is really cool. It's so cute. Like, I can't wait to like do the Van Gogh Museum tomorrow. So that is my update, and it's like freaking awesome. So bye. Okay, so sorry for that super quiet whisper. That was all I could do, but now I'm in my hostel. Nobody else is here, so I can... Oh yeah, Allie's here. But nobody else in our room. And, oh, are you going to check the laundry? If you find my Lulu shorts, will you pull them out? I just don't want to dry them. And my silk pajamas. And the silk pajamas. Yeah, thank you. We're doing laundry here, so yeah. And so just to kind of like recap, just because last night I was just like so baked and was going through it fast because I was just out in my hallway, and I don't know, like I feel like I'm a freaking weirdo just talking to myself on my phone. Like, it's so different, like, when I'm in my house, or if it's just me and Allie. But when there's, like, other people in the room, I'm like, please don't think that I'm, like, a weirdo, but I have, like, a podcast, and, like, this is, like, something that I do. So, anyways, the hostel that we're staying at, it is,
It's like, oh, St. Christopher's at the Winston, and we're like in the red light district, but it's like a fucking vibe. Like, but also like if you're gonna stay here, like make sure you know you fucking like tighten your lats and like your chest is up and like you don't look like you want to be fucked with, because walking around here at night, like you got to be aware. Like it's definitely like a different sort of entity, like a different sort of vibe in the red light district than it is when you're like on the other side of Amsterdam. And so, but it's freaking awesome. Like the freaking coffee shops here are like, you can buy weed and smoke. Like it's just such a vibe. Like literally just like being able to just like hang and smoke and not necessarily like constantly being like, okay, well, what do we want to do? Like, do we want to just go drink? Like, we're tired of walking around, but like the fact that we could literally come back to our hostel and sit outside and just like fucking smoke was just sick as fuck. And I just am like, we need these. I want these. Like, what? And so the train ride was like pretty okay until like our last train ride. And sorry if there's background shit. I'm gonna get to fucking my sleeping in a minute. But, and there's just fucking a lot of noise, so I apologize, and I know it's just gonna be a bitch to edit out. So so fucking hot on this train ride, and I just think always being hot and not having good ventilation and like being cooped up in like in these stuffy, like our hostel room in Bern was so fucking hot. Granted, why we literally had to open up the door and then that guy fucking got into our room, and then in here it's so fucking hot, and then that train, it's just fucking hot. So I am so stuffed up and been battling with like a scratchy throat and a stuffed up nose, and I am just fucking powering through taking Dayquil. I got some vitamin C because I'm just like, fuck me. Like I'm already like exhausted and tired of like just traveling in general. Like it takes a toll on your body and not sleeping well, and so I'm just fucking powering through this damn stuffed up nose and sore throat. Yeah, red light district, sick as fuck. We went for weed. This guy, like, I did some research on some, like, coffee shops, and the greenhouse, like I said before, we went to the Hill Street Blues Cafe. Like, when you go in there, there's, like, a whole bunch of stickers, like, everywhere, so it's kind of, like, a lot when you go in there. But it's, like, it was cool, it was sick. Like, we took Jaeger shots there and just smoked and hung out. And then the other place that I haven't gone to yet, it's Boerjongens, Boerejongens. But the place that we actually went to that somebody recommended was Coffee Shop De Kroon, and that's where we got some weed. And I bought 4, I got 5 free, so I got them like $36, got them for like almost $6 each. And because like here, like weed is illegal, but you can have up to 5 grams on you, and it's just freaking awesome. And so we were like, well, can we like just sit and smoke at the canal? And they're like, we can't like tell you no, but like, do we do it all the time? Yes. So I was like, that's all I need to hear, thank you. And so we walked around, and then we did our canal tour, like I said, and that was fucking awesome, so beautiful. It was so like amazing going from the red light district as like our first experience, like our first sight into Amsterdam, and then going over there, because we were like, holy fuck, like that is so beautiful. The buildings, the houses, like it is like so pretty. Like it's just I love it. Like it's just so cute here, and the canals, like if you have to do Amsterdam, and if anybody ever tells you to choose another place over Amsterdam, I'm like, because somebody told us that we should go to Paris over Amsterdam. I'm like, I've been to Paris, like no. And I'm so happy like that we didn't, because it's so cool here. Okay, so to kind of review my fucking sleep, it is terrible. Like, you could probably hear the background noise already, but last night, people are fucking partying. Like, this is the quietest it's been, and it was terrible. Like, I'm not even gonna fucking sugarcoat it. I don't even think I fucking slept. Like, oh, thank you. And it was... Als, how'd you sleep?
I mean, I could have slept a lot worse. Like,
Really? I slept so bad.
I think me being hot, like, I haven't slept high in a long time.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I was just so relaxed that I was just like, fuck, like, this is what it has to be. Like, I obviously woke up a few times because it was fucking hot and it was loud.
Yeah.
And then,
I think I might need to go get the earplugs from downstairs. Or use our earplugs. Yeah. Because it was terrible. I was so hot. I think my stuffed up nose even more, like, really fucked me up, and I couldn't breathe. I was hot. I needed water. And so that is just where I'm at right now with my life. And so, but today is gonna be so good because we are doing magic truffles. So, we're doing magic truffles. And mushrooms are illegal here, but magic truffles aren't. And you know your girl did her research because I'm an educated druggie. And so, but not really, but maybe. And so there are 2 magic shops that I have researched and found that are good. There's the oldest one in Amsterdam, and there's like this other one that had good reviews as well. I've also researched the different types of strands and like what would happen and how we're feeling. So if this is something that you want to do, it's possible, and you just gotta be in the right headspace and do your research about it, because today it's gonna be like a fucking vibe. We're doing the Van Gogh Museum, we're gonna hang out and do like maybe a picnic, walk around, and be super vibey. And so if I remember, I definitely wanna check back in.
What is the point of this chair?
I have no idea.
Like, genuinely. Like, if you're not gonna make the mirrors at least eye level, why the fuck did you put a chair here?
We also have 4 other people in our hostel, all girls, and yeah, that's about it. Oh, also, side note, the girl that, like, chatted with us earlier, well, we ended up, like, I don't know, she kind of rubbed us the wrong way, because she started making fun of our accents and shit, and I just didn't like that, and so I just kind of, like, got, like, not like a cold shoulder, but I just, like, wasn't really taking her shit. Like, I just said some shit.
Copy.
Yeah, she literally, like, we were eating, and she literally was repeating what Ali said, and it was more or less, like, I took it as she was literally making fun of us, but then she was like, I just love your accents, and then we, like, heard somebody else that sounded, like, I don't think we sound like them, because I listen to my voice through my podcast. Literally, I don't think we sound like that. Literally, like,
Literally don't sound
literally, bitch, I don't sound like that. So that just rubbed us the wrong way, because we're fucking from Cali, like, we have Cali accents, like, what the fuck of it? And that just rubbed me the wrong way. And so she was like, has everybody told you that you're, like, super sarcastic? And I just kind of laughed, and I was just like, I don't even know. I'm just, like, not vibing with you anymore because you made fun of us, and I'm not into that. So sorry about it. Sorry, not sorry. So that is just it, and that is all I have to report. But I'm fucking so into Amsterdam, and I'm just gonna power through my fucking illness. And that's it. Now we're getting ready to go get breakfast because I'm fucking famished. Okay. Toodles. All right. So we hopped around a couple different magic shops, and we decided to do Elements of Nature out of the 3 that we looked at, because it was just, the guy that was up there, he was super informative. They had like a whole sheet of a whole bunch of different magic truffles, and we just, like, we felt like we want to buy our stuff from here. This guy's good. He's answering all of our questions, being super honest. Like, one of the other spots that I had actually researched and we walked to, it was called, one second. Okay, yeah, Kokopelli, Kokopelli. And it was, like, super vibey, like Buddhas and spiritual in there, but when we were talking to her, I don't know, like, she wasn't giving us exactly everything that we wanted. And then we walked back to this guy, and he was just like, yes, like, answering, like, how much to take, when we should take it, like, don't eat while you're on them, like, all the good stuff. And what we really liked was that chart that had, like, everything that you were going to do and how you were going to feel in each way, like, ranked. And so we just got a very visual of each strand of what we wanted to try. Mine's the Golden Teacher. So it was like a level 3.
Mine's a space shuttle, and mine's
A level 1.
Yeah, so this is going to be fucking dope. We're going to go smoke a J and just, like, set ourselves up. We got our pack ready. We got our blanket or our towel for when we want to hang out in the park. And we just basically plan to just do the park, Van Gogh, and just vibe. So it's good. So far, so good. All right, bye.
So hello. This is amazing. Like, I can't even talk right now, and so with everything, this is going to be so short, but I just want to remember this moment. This is a core, just memory. Like, it was just so lovely. Like, the Van Gogh Museum was amazing. Right now, I'm feeling so uplifted and so in tune with myself, and when you're on psychedelics, it's like, everything just feels so vibrant, and it's hard to kind of communicate in ways. So, but I just want to try to, like, show
like, it's not bad, like, the myth of it and how it's, like, magic truffles, like, ooh, psychedelic, low, low, low. Just, like, we've had an amazing fucking day. Like, we're literally hanging out at the Vondeloo Park, made ourselves a charcuterie board by the supermarket that was right next to the Van Gogh Museum, and it's just amazing. Like, so amazing. Like, that's all I can keep telling myself is I couldn't have had more of a perfect day. And how I'm feeling right now, it's just amazing. And that's all I can't even like, all the words are in my head. It's just not coming out, I feel as if. So, but, Ma, just know that I'm fine. Like, I'm more than fine. Like, this is just incredible. And it's good. Just to describe, like, so uplifted, like, just being so in tune with you, like, inside, like, going deep inside your mind, just exploring that and just being more, like, I can't wait to meditate, like, after I'm done doing this and talking. I just can't wait to pop my music in and meditate and just dive in. And that's it. That's all I got. Okay, so Allie and I are back in our hostel, and literally I could not. I'm gonna do a full recap of this day a little bit later because I'm still feeling like words are just hard, and I'm okay, but like words are hard, and if you've ever done psychedelics, you will understand like why that is. But I just really wanted to continue the following of the day because what you heard before was me deep in like my trip, and so now I'm a little bit more like out of it to make like real sentences. And I just think that looking throughout the day and everything of how I felt, I just feel like it was such a euphoric, spiritual, inner of going inwards, and like it was amazing. Like I think that it's not you just people who come here and they're like, oh yeah, Amsterdam, like all the drugs and stuff, but I really do think like there's a reason why these are legal, and like what Ali and I went through today, it was like we literally, like after I finished podcasting, I put my music in and I literally cried. Like went through all of these emotions and I let them come and go, and it was just amazing. Like it wasn't about like being like doing drugs, like it was like let me go inwards and let me dive deeper to who I am as a being, like literally a being. Like it was just like such a state that you just can't get to and like in a sober state. Like it was amazing, and I just could not recommend, like I recommend this to anybody who's in the right like mindset and like is willing to like go and dive deep into themselves and like do this, because Allie literally said, and I want to get her take onto it more, it's just right now it's like a lot to like go in, like my mind is exhausted, like it was a lot, but I feel like this is a core moment in my life, and I couldn't be more happier with how the day went, and it was incredible. But Ali mentioned it literally felt like she was healing her inner child, and we'll chat if she's open to it when we do, but she obviously has chatted about her mental health and like things that she's gone through as a child, and so she's never done psychedelics or anything like this before, and so for her to, I've just been so happy to give and been a part of like such a positive first time for her. I'm doing this, see, like right now words are hard right now. Just like an amazing experience, and it's not about like let's go do some drugs, and like it was really like a healing, like spiritual, like let's fucking get to know ourselves better. And it was like being in the Vondeloo Park, like I literally laid there like, and it was so emotional, like it was very emotional, like I literally got emotional. I took one breath in and just the essence of like feeling my breath in my body, like feeling alive, like I got overwhelming with the feeling of like fuck, like, I am alive. Like, I am here on this fucking planet. Like, I'm in fucking Amsterdam. Like, it was just the overwhelming sensation, but like of the best feelings ever. Like, it was just such a euphoric, happy state of just letting all of these emotions come and go. And I just couldn't, like, I couldn't have pictured a more perfect day. Like, everything that I wanted this day to be, and all the feelings and the vibes and just like everything, it was amazing. And I would hope to share that and have other people have such a good experience like we did today, because it was truly like an experience and something that I think a lot of people would enjoy and love. And I just want my experience and our experience to shed light of, like, I feel like how you should do the magic truffles here in Amsterdam, because it was fucking incredible. Like, it was so good. I would also like to say of how much I did. So I got 15 grams, and I want to say I took like 14 grams of the magic truffles. I have one thing left, like a nug left, and I just didn't take it, which I feel like I could have, but by the time like we walked back, I was like, I needed a minute. Like, I really did need a minute before we like adventured into the central station, or not in the central station, fuck. Words are hard. Just in the downtown Amsterdam. So like, just to like look back of like the feeling like being in the park and then adventuring outside of the park, like, be fucking ready to do that, because there's a lot of stimulant, a lot of going on. And there was a point where I was like, I can't go out there right now. Like, I need to stay in here. Like, I need to like lay down again. I just can't fathom like being like, I didn't want to be around people. Like, I was very happy where we were. I like was very in my head. Like, I was like, this feels really good. Like, I don't want to like be overstimulated. I just want to like lay here, because the feeling, it's like, it's kind of like a wave of like, I felt very heavy and relaxed. And so when you're out and about and you're moving, it can be like a lot. And for me, I think just like how much I did, and in like the levels of like the magic truffles that you can take, there's like, Ali did level 1, and I would say I did like a level 3. And so it was just like intense, vibrant, like the colors, like it was just like everything just like felt more like heightened and like alive, and just like I was very more focused on things. Like, it was just fucking incredible. But that feeling, you have to be ready to like move on, like, and do the next thing, because if I would have jumped to walking back to our hostel, because it was like a 35-minute walk, 40-minute walk, like, do not make that jump too quick, because I feel like that could go really bad in the terms of being overstimulated and stressed out, because there's fucking bikers everywhere. Like, it's a fucking system. Like, bikers, cars, it's a lot. Like, so you gotta be aware. So that's all I have to say, and goodbye.
Okay, everyone, I just wanted to pop in and kind of put like a disclaimer, a little bit of information for you. I recommend anybody that is not educated on psychedelic drugs to go and watch episode 5, season 1 of The Mind Explained on Netflix. They go into dreams, anxiety, psychedelics, a handful of things that explain the mind, and I'm actually very, very fascinated about it. And I will eventually dedicate a whole episode, a couple episodes actually, to The Mind and The Mind Explained, and because I've fallen in love with that show. But for the purpose of this episode, I just wanted to put that out there, that it is a very great episode to get informed on the powers of psychedelic drugs, their effect on the body, how they're actually being used to help with PTSD and cancer and anxiety, and ultimately have people feel a sense of understanding with death, especially if for somebody who has cancer. And they are powerful, powerful drugs, and I want everybody to know that I don't do things half-ass, and when I do things, I'm educated about them, and I am aware of all the implications, especially like psychedelics drugs can have, especially on my mind. Like, you're playing with your mind, and these drugs are heavily, heavily influenced by your state of mind, what your mindset is. So the fact that me and Ali finally had that experience the way that we did was because our mindset wanted us to have that experience. If you take these powerful drugs and you are in a bad mindset, well, that's how you're going to get a bad trip. So I am not going to go into super long detail about it now, but I did just want to put this in here to say that please, before you judge me or have a just like bad taste in your mouth because of what I did or what we did, please just go educate yourself on everything about these drugs, because I did. I feel good. I feel great. So back to the episode. Please be smart and safe if you do decide to, adventure into this side of things. And Mom Fine will eventually have a whole episode or episodes dedicated to explaining and researching into the mind and into psychedelics. So, yeah. Hello.
Yo.
So, fuck Matthew, what's the bathroom house? I would just like to start this, podcast segment off by saying I literally fucking passed out in the middle of our hostel bar this morning. Oh my gosh. So I just want to set the scene, because I feel like with the events of yesterday, people might be like, oh, it's because you did the magic mushroom or magic truffles, blah, blah, blah. Mainly my mom, if she's listening. But I think it was a mix of a lot of things. So last night I set myself up for success. The first night sleeping here was fucking terrible. Last night, I slept so good. And, in terms of my snotty nose and, my sickness and what I've been dealing with, I felt the best I've ever felt waking up this morning. So let me just...
The best you've ever felt.
Since I've been since
I was like,
since birth. Okay. In terms of my snotty nose, my sore throat, I felt rested. Obviously not the best I've ever felt, but since I've been not sleeping well, and since the night before, so. Which also last night, me and Allie went to walk past the prostitutes. That's our thing, and it's just
how we gonna do it again?
We're gonna do it again tonight. But so this morning I was like, all right, let's get up, let's move, and we slept in, and I literally made this comment. I was like, let's get moving, because I don't want to wait for too long for breakfast, because then we'll be starving. And so we get going, and I was like, you know what, let's wake and bake. We're in Amsterdam, one of my favorite things to do, and let's do it. Well, we do that, and I just don't think that was a good idea, because with the magic truffles, it did suppress our appetite. So my body probably needed, I needed food, but I personally just wasn't hungry yet. When I don't eat, I become ill. I get stomach pains, I cannot go long without eating. But this time around, I didn't feel unwell. I was yeah, whatever, I know I need to eat, let's go eat. But then after smoking, I'm sitting there, I'm oh my gosh, I'm just getting really lightheaded. I don't know what's happening. And so I was finished smoking, and I'm done, I'm just hanging. I'm kind of leaning on the table, and then we're getting ready to go walk to breakfast. And that was when we start walking, and I'm oh shit. I'm hey, I was I think I need to go sit down, lay down. And what I remember is reaching for her, and then all of a sudden, I can't see. All of my senses were being taken away from me, all at the same time, but also very slowly. The first thing that went out was my eyes. I couldn't see, but I was still conscious, and then all of a sudden I couldn't hear, and I was out. And then next thing I knew, I'm waking up, and there's one of the barkeep and Allie, and then I just remember saying I can see. I think the most terrifying thing about that was I've never lost consciousness before, and I thought I went blind. I literally was terrified before I passed out, because that was just a really scary feeling. And so I literally was on the fucking floor of this bar. I was this is disgusting, I need to get up. And then everybody was don't get up, you just need to lay there. I was I think I just need to get off this floor. So I laid there, got some freaking soda and cookies, and revived myself. And that was that. So that was me fucking falling on the fucking bar floor.
Yeah.
But everything, Mom, fine, everybody's fine. Very scary situation. But I think that it was a mix of a lot of things, and it was just, my body was
I'd never like had to fight my body like that to stay awake, and it was just so crazy going from like such an experience where I was so connected with my body and just like felt as one, and then to like literally fight for consciousness, like go against like what my body wanted to do. I don't know, it was just like a very like unsettling feeling and just situation. But we went to breakfast, we went to Bakers and Rosters, and that was literally fucking delicious, so I totally recommend going there. And then yeah, we're getting ready to go out because this is our night to fucking rage. So we're in the bathroom getting ready. And so what we did, we went to breakfast and then we kind of went shopping around. Alice wanted to get like a new top for tonight because I'm from Scotland, because it's like kind of chilly now, and so she wanted a long sleeve top, so we just like went shopping around, did what we do, and then we found this coffee shop because we were just like fucking exhausted. Like I honestly just think like we were just so tired. Like I literally took a nap at a coffee shop. I was like so tired. And then after that, we did the dungeons in Amsterdam, and it was sick as fuck. Like it was literally like an interactive theater, and it was like spooky, and it was just like
It's like take a haunted house and then put in like
Amsterdam's dark history of like torture and like what they did with the
multiple
criminals.
levels of different like just scenes and actors just like pulling you into the story, and whether you wanted to be pulled into it or not. I got locked in a cage.
Yeah, I
for a
got
little
locked
bit.
in a cage. I was put on trial, but then he heard my name and said that I was guilty, and that was it. And I was
Me
like,
and a hoe.
yeah, he was like, you a hoe, sit down. You guilty. And so that was really fun. Like 10 out of 10 recommend. Like it upped our spirits. It got our adrenaline going. We felt alive after. And then after that, we went and got sushi. Oh no, we shopped around a little bit more. And then we went and got sushi at Moo, M-U, and it was really good. Like how they like set it up is like you could do all you can eat, or you could do like some all you can eat and drinks, or you could just like pick what you want from the menu. But their menu, it's like kind of like cheaper but less like of the quantity that you get. And so we just kind of got a bunch of like little things, and it was like really freaking good. And then after that, we went to the Anne Frank house, and like that was really fucking amazing. And just like, yes, it was sad, but I just felt like so touched to be able to experience like that type of history, even though it's so dark, because it's fucking real. And we can't forget about the 6 million Jews that were literally exterminated, and that is just really sad. So I recommend anybody that is in Amsterdam to do the Anne Frank house, because I think it was just so important to do. What were you gonna say, Alice?
That there's not a whole lot of places in the world where people are just dead silent walking.
Yeah, like we would, especially when we got up into the attic, like where they were hiding, like the living quarters, like it was silent. Like you could just like feel like just the energy of the other people that were there.
What's so crazy is like, although like that was one experience, like people were experiencing that everywhere.
And like we were just like so fortunate that Anne Frank kept that diary so we could look into her life. But that was like the one thing that was said, like it was like, yes, like Anne Frank was one person, but there was millions and millions of people going through the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like not like you have to remember all of them, and it's just that Anne Frank is famous because she literally recorded her history, which now we get to look back on, and it was amazing. So all in all, it was a good day. It was a crazy day, and kind of started off kind of fucking wild, but it was good. And so now we got our second win. We're doing it up, doing our makeup, and we're gonna go out and we're gonna party it up. And I'm excited, feeling good, looking good. All the vibes are up. So yeah, so tomorrow we leave, and you guys are just gonna have to wait and see where we end up. Okay, bye.
I don't drink.
Yo. We are in the car with a bunch of Scottish people, and Rory's being a bitch and doesn't want to come out with us.
It's the podcast.
It is the podcast.
Hello, podcast.
So we're in Scotland now. I know. Whoa. Rory, you gonna come out with us?
Maybe.
Don't let the people
Maybe.
down.
Don't let the people down.
We should have a roundabout.
Well, Rory's a bitch, so that's our update.
Yo. So, wanted to give a little update. Our time in Amsterdam was freaking wild. Our night in Amsterdam was freaking wild. I just loved Amsterdam. And to recap our night in Amsterdam, we went to the club Escape. Literally paid fucking $18 to get in. And then when we got in, still had to pay €1 to use the fucking bathroom. So like that just like was dumb. And then one drink was $23. And we were there kind of early because the club's open at like 11. We got there like 11:30, 12, but Europeans just fucking party late and I can't do that shit. And so we were there kind of early and it wasn't like super packed. So we were there for a bit, wasn't vibing. Then we went to this like techno place right next door and the guy got us in for like $5 instead of like 20. So that was really nice. And their bathroom was free. So we hung out there. We actually met people from Sacramento. And we were like, no fucking way. Our people, our homies, like what? So we hung out with them for a bit. And then we were like not vibing there. So then we went back to the other club because we got a stamp so we could just go back in, and it was so fun dancing, like such a good time. So like even though Escape was like hella expensive, like in the end, like when we went back to it, we stayed all night and we had so much fun. Like finally around like 2:33 we were like, oh my god, we should fucking go, like we gotta go. So after we were like, but we both had to pee, so we left Escape, went back to the other techno club so that we could use their bathroom, and then we went and got pizza, and then we sat on the canal and ate our pizza, and it was fucking awesome. And then we went and saw the prostitutes one last time, and it was amazing, so fun, and neither one of us woke up hungover. And so that was our last night in Amsterdam, and it was really good. But I did wake up to some other bitch throwing up in our hostel, and I was like, hey, that's not me this time. And so now we're in Scotland visiting Allie's family, and I'm just gonna do like a quick recap of like what we've been doing, because since we are like staying with the family, we are like not staying in like the major cities. We're like kind of like on the outskirts of Glasgow. And so as soon as we landed, we went to Loch Lomond, which is, they were making fun of me because it's not a lake, but it's a body of water, but it's called Loch Lomond, and so that was really pretty. And then we went to a house party because it was somebody's 21st birthday, so we went there, and man, I just like we were drinking like mixing like gin and tonic, tequila, I was in a little bit of rum and coke. And you guys, when I hit a wall, like there's just no coming back. Like unless I'm like really drinking something that like I can get into and like drink, I just got so tired. I just couldn't do it. And especially after the night in Amsterdam, I fucking couldn't do it. I was falling asleep. And so then after that, I walked back to the house because I was like, I can't do that anymore. I can't party no more. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta do it. But Allie stayed, and she fucking stayed till 4 a.m. This bitch fell asleep in her clothes on the couch, makeup on, whole 9 yards. So because of that, we had planned to go to, they were making fun of me because I called it Edinburgh, and that's not the correct pronunciation, and so I'm almost positive it's Edinburgh. Yeah, and do the castle and walk around Edinburgh, but because it's like an hour train, and we just didn't do it. Everybody was super hungover and it just didn't happen. So instead we went to go see the Kelpies, which is like these two massive horse heads that were about like 35-40 minutes away from here. So like that was really cool because we got such a late start. Like when we were heading back into Glasgow, like all the museums were closed, like everything was just kind of closed. So that was kind of like the only thing that we did, and then we just like hung out at the house. And then today we ended up going into Edinburgh, but because our tickets were for yesterday and we didn't call and buy new ones, they were sold out today. So that was like a really big bummer because that was something I really wanted to do, and we just should have been better about our planning, and just if we weren't going to do it yesterday, we should have called and just like changed it. But you know, c'est la vie, can't do anything about that now, just got to be better for the next time. And then we just like walked around. We did Victoria Street. We did like, there's this fountain in the gardens that we did. We just like walked around and did like the main strip. There was people like playing bagpipes and dressed up in medieval shit, and it was cool. But one thing that's been really bummer is right now there's strikes going on in Scotland, and the people who would go around the cities and clean up and pick up the trash, they're on strike because they want to get paid more. So it's insanely dirty. Like there's trash everywhere. Like it's so sad to see like a beautiful city. All the cities, Glasgow, Edinburgh, like I don't really know like other cities other than those two because we've been here, but those two, like there's just trash everywhere. So it's just a real bummer to have come here and then for all of that to be going on. But I mean, that's just the way the tide runs, I guess. And it's just sad because it's terrible for the environment. It makes a beautiful city just like go to shit. And there's just people who are just throwing trash on the ground. Like it was really sad. Like it was just really sad to see. And so we made the best of it. And where we got lunch in Edinburgh was Devil's Advocate. They were good. Yeah, I got like a sweet potato chickpea burger. Allie got fish and chips. We got a charcuterie board, got a couple drinks. So that was good because it rained on us, and so we had to duck inside and take shelter for a little bit. And so that was like kind of like our day. And then we met up with and then we came back to Glasgow, and one of Allie's other cousin took us out to dinner, and that was kind of our day. That is kind of like the catch up of what I've been doing the past couple days. And tomorrow we are going to our last spot before we finally circle back and go to Rome for 2 last days, so we can get Allie stuff, she can see her family one last time and do all of that. But I'm so excited for this next place. It's gonna be fucking amazing. And yeah, so that is my update. Okay, bye. Okay, hello. We are in Dublin, freaking Dublin, so excited. We left Scotland around like 3 o'clock. The flight was super easy from Scotland to Dublin. It was, sorry, I'm like trying to get ready for bed as I'm okay. Yeah, I'm just like getting ready for bed because I'm fucking tired and I don't want to like do it in my bed because there's like other people in the hostel, and so I'm doing it in the bathroom while I'm doing my freaking nighttime routine. So sorry if there's background noise because say lobby. We went, okay, where am I going? So we flew into Dublin, and the Dublin airport is like kind of on the outskirts of the city. So we got the Dublin Express bus, literally right like next to our hostel, and we're staying at the Generator. And so far so good. I mean, we have our own bathroom. There's 6 females, like 6 female dorm. The rooms are like nice, and the beds are more of like a cubby type thing. There's lockers. There's a bar downstairs, and it was like really cheap. Like this was probably our cheapest place. Like it was like $96 each for 3 nights, so that was pretty freaking sick. And then once we like got here, because we got here like kind of like late, and by the time we checked in and everything, we just like walked out to get dinner, and we got Mykonos Taverna. It's like this Greek restaurant over in Temple Bar, and it was like good. Like we were like walking around, and like we just like didn't really see anything. We were just like walking around, and we just didn't really like see anything that was like really catching our eye, even though there's like tons of places. But while we were like walking around, it was just like a lot of like pubs, and so we were like hungry, and because Scotland was such like a drunk fest, we just were like, I don't want to drink, I just need some good food. And so we found this Greek place and ate there, and it was good. The only thing is like the gyros were kind of really greasy, but I mean, all in all, like it was a good spot. Not too expensive. Like we got like a bread dip, like a hummus dip, 3 dips, and like pita and a salad to share. And then we got euros, and it was like 33. We got euros, and then it was 33 euros. So I mean, so far so good. And now we're just hanging back at the hostel because we're like literally fucking exhausted, and all I want to do is just like lay in bed and just chill. But tomorrow is gonna be a really sick fucking day, because we rented a car, and we're doing the Cliffs of Moher and Galway, and just like doing a couple other spots. So I'm gonna be driving because they drive on the left side of the road, and I already know how to do that because it's in Australia. And we're gonna basically spend the day doing that. We're basically gonna drive across Ireland, which I'm really excited about, because a lot of people were like, yeah, Dublin's great and all, but like it really doesn't show the beauties of Ireland. And so I'm really excited to like get out of the city and go to the Cliffs of Moher and like really see some shit. So I'm excited for that. But just like I felt like I haven't really done like a
a check-in maybe of like how everything is going, and like just in terms of like backpacking in general. Like as much fun as we're having, like I'm tired. I feel my body getting soft. Obviously I'm not working out as much, drinking a little bit more than I usually am. Funds wise, I'm doing pretty solid. Got like $2,000 on my credit card right now. Planning on paying that off when I get home. Yeah, I mean, it's been a solid fucking couple weeks. Like this is our last spot before we go back to Rome, and it's been fucking epic. Like it's been an epic fucking trip. So I'm excited for tomorrow because tomorrow's gonna be epic as well. And I mean, that's all I got. That's all I got for tonight. So I'll check in after we do our day tomorrow.
All right, yo. We just got back from our long day of road tripping to the Cliffs of Moher in Galway. We kind of had a late start this morning because we were just like so fucking exhausted, and I took ZQuil last night and it just like knocked me out, and I just needed all the rest. Sorry for the background noise. Like podcasting while traveling, you don't get the best fucking space. You gotta go where you can go. Okay, so now I'm in this hallway. So we just did our day at the Cliffs of Moher and Galway. We got a late start this morning because we were just so exhausted and just needed to sleep. Like I tried to get up at like 6 and then 6:45, and then I think I ended up getting up at like 7:45. And then we had to go back to the airport, so we took the Dublin Express, which was the same thing that we got when we first arrived. So we just got like a return ticket when we first arrived in Dublin, and so we got there, but that was running late, so then we were just running even fucking more late to the car pickup. And the car company that we used was Sixt, SIXT, and I chose them because they would rent a car to somebody that's under 25. I just had to pay like a extra like $30 as a young driver fee, and if you have a Capital One Ventura card, you don't have to get car insurance because they'll cover you as long as you have to have absolutely no coverage from the people that you're renting from other than like third party liability. That's okay, but other than that you can't have like any other insurance coverage, or Capital One's insurance will like cancel out, like they won't be able to help you. So I made that very clear with the car rental place that was the case, and they tried to be like, are you sure like sure you don't want insurance? And I was like, yes, I know. I literally called them when I was booking this in the first place, and they told me that they would cover me. So it was like all good. And also my freaking phone shit out on me today, so I think it's like the SIM card that I use, which is like 3, like it's like a UK SIM card, and I don't even know what the fuck was going on. So on top of just like running late and my phone not fucking working and just like I was just like very fucking flustered this morning. But as soon as we got in driving, I just kept getting like, I kept doing the wrong directions. I mean, I felt fine driving on the left side of the road. Like that wasn't like a thing. And like for tips on how to do that, you just have to think wide rights. So when you're making right turns, you're going wide, so you're crossing the road, and then left, it's tight lefts, and so you're staying on like that side of the road. And then you kind of want to think like you as the driver, you stay in the middle of the road. I mean, obviously if it's like a 2-lane road on the left side, then like you can bebop through the lanes, but majority of the time like you want to be in the middle of the lane, like hugging the lines and stuff. So that's how I remember it, and I was fine. And honestly, it was like riding a bike. I feel like once I got in the car, I was fine. One thing that I kept fucking doing was hitting the windshield wipers instead of my blinkers. So that was like frustrating because it would fucking fuck me up and get me all flustered. But overall, it was fucking solid. And so on our way to the Cliffs of Moher, it was like a 3-hour drive. And the guy that was like checking us in for our car, he was like, you're gonna do the Cliffs of Moher in a day? And we were like, yeah, like there's tour companies that do this shit and I would much rather drive myself. But on our way to the Cliffs of Moher, we passed by the Chilmhídhuach. It's Chilmhídhuach, and then underneath it said like Kilmacduag. I think that's how you pronounce it. But it was really cool because it was like this monastery that was founded by the Saint Colman MacDuach early in the 17th century. And so we were like, whoa, like that's pretty freaking wild. And so it was like these buildings of stone, and there was like a round tower and a temple
and like a cathedral, and like that was just like a super cool like stop off, because what was nice about the drives to the cliffs is that we weren't on the motorway the entire time. Like we went through the backcountry and it was really pretty. Like Ireland is so pretty, like just like rolling hills of greenery, and it was honestly just like so lovely. Like I had so much fun driving like just around the back. Like it was just like so green, and then like the cliffs of Moher were like fucking stunning, absolutely stunning. Somebody in our hostel recommended that we go to the Kilkee Cliffs, which are farther down, less crowded, but we just like didn't have the time due to our late start to drive like an hour down and then drive almost like 2.5 hours back up to Galway. So we just like didn't do it. But I mean, if you guys have time when you're here to do it, I would recommend trying to check that out if you don't want to deal with like a more like touristy part of the Cliffs of Moher. But I mean, like it was pretty sick. Like there was definitely people there, but it wasn't like that crowded. Like it was awesome. Like the cliffs just like literally the edge of Ireland. Like that's freaking sick. Like they're massive. And like back in California we have like Big Sur, and like those, like that's really pretty, but like here it was like, I don't know, like it was wild, like so steep. Water was just like so blue, like green, like it was amazing. Like I'm so happy I got to see that, and also just like drive myself and like not be limited on time and stuff. 10 out of 10 recommend. And then after that we drove through Doolin, which is literally like the smallest little town, and we just like drove through it. We didn't really stop, but it was cute. Then we went to Galway, and Galway's like an hour and a half away from the cliffs. When we got into Galway, it's so cute. Like if you go into like where all the restaurants are and the shops, like it was just like another fun spot to like walk around in. But by the time that we got there, we were just like absolutely starving that we just like walked around for a bit, and then we got dinner at Quay Street. Key or Q? No, Key. It's Quay. And it was really good. Like out of all the places we were looking at, and every time we try to find restaurants, like we look at Yelp, we look at Google reviews, like we look at like all the reviews. We were wandering around trying to find a place to eat, and like this is just like the spot that like we felt was the best. Like Allie literally got like a halloumi, like zucchini tofu like sandwich with chips and, or like French fries, people call them chips here. I got like a vegetable curry, and then I also got the bruschetta, and Allie got like the seafood soup, and then we got like a glass of wine, and it was just like really good. Like out of all the places that we passed, because like so far like a lot of the places are like pubs and they have like pub food, and we were just like, I need dinner. Like only other thing we had was literally like our Starbucks from that morning, and then we got like gas station crackers. So that was, we just like needed food. And so the car was like really good. Like it was small, little, easy to drive. The problem with our car though is our phones were not charging. So definitely like bring a portable charger. And also like anywhere you go, like I need to do this like every single time I go somewhere. One, to save data, but two, to always make sure that I can like get my way around somewhere. But downloading the Google Maps offline, I luckily, because my phone was shitting out on me at the Cliffs of Moher, there was Wi-Fi, so I was luckily able to download a map of Ireland on Google Maps and like map us, because at the Cliffs of Moher, Allie's phone stopped working and like our phones were dying. We couldn't get a charge, and then luckily like our phones just like slowly started charging again. I don't know what it was about that car or what, but it just like it was not working. And so that was like pretty stressful, because like we literally drove across fucking Ireland. Like, do you fucking think that I'm terrible at directions? Like I could not get us back. I mean, oh, the lights just turned off. So that was just like super fucking stressful in itself. Luckily, like my phone started working, and even though my phone, I couldn't connect to the internet, I had my map. So like we got to Galway, we got dinner, we walked around a bit. It was cute. Like the only thing that I kind of regret is that because we had such a late start, we didn't have that much time in Galway, and it would have been good to like walk around and stuff. We just like didn't have time, and so when we finished with dinner we kind of just like left. And plus I was the one driving the entire time, so like I basically did like 7 hours of driving today, like between 6 and 7 hours of driving. Yeah, maybe like 6. But I mean, it was so worth it. Like I'd much rather have done that than fucking sit on a bus for 12 hours. And then yeah, we just like got back and dropped our car off. Super easy. They give you the directions and stuff and of how to do that. And then we got the Dublin Express back to Dublin City. And then that was it. And then we took our food to go because we didn't finish it, and we were fucking sitting out in the hallway eating cold curry. Whatever, what are you gonna do? I'm a little hungry. It's fucking almost midnight and I'm so tired. But like today was good, despite all of the stressors and just like the kind of things that were like going wrong, and just like the phones and like
the data and like the internet and our maps and stuff, it was still like a really good day. And so I do recommend anybody that wants to do the cliffs and are staying in Dublin to rent a car. Like obviously, like I learned how to drive on the left side of the road living in Australia, but like if you feel confident as a driver and are competent, like you can do it as well. So I think that is all I got for today. Tomorrow's our last day, and it's so sad seeing the whole day, just the whole trip come to an end. People are like walking past like I'm a nut. I know, I literally am pretending like I'm on the phone. But okay, I'm going to bed. Good night. Bye. Alrighty, so we are no longer in Dublin anymore. We are actually in Rome, back at Allie's host family's house. You could probably hear them above me right now, so sorry for just, again, the background noise. But I just was too drunk the other night when we went out in Dublin, and by the time we got back, and just couldn't do it, couldn't podcast. So to kind of recap our last day in Dublin, we did the Dublin Castle and we did the Guinness Storehouse, and somebody had told us that the Guinness Storehouse was kind of overrated and not to do it, but honestly, like I'm really happy that we did do it. It was a lot of fun, and you get like a free tasting, a free pint, and it honestly is kind of like a freaking science on how they make Guinness, and I don't know, you just appreciate the beer more. And it was fun. Like you go up, kind of like up like a spiral, and then at the top there's like this like rooftop like 360 bar. It's like super cute. Like you can like see the city, and there's plants everywhere, and like we enjoyed it. Like in terms of like what else we would do in Dublin, like I'm really happy that we did do that. But before we did that, we had fucking bomb ass food. Like, oh man, at first we went to Brother Hubbard, but because we went there so late, they stopped doing breakfast, and then they just did like brunch and lunch, and we were just like not into what they were offering. But we had already ordered espresso martinis, and so we just drank our espresso martinis and just dipped. And we went to Joy of Cha, which is kind of near Temple Bar, and oh, bomb. Like, oh my gosh, the breakfast bagels that we got, delish, chef's kiss. And then we also got mimosas, and those were like really good too. And then we also got these cute little earrings, and so honestly recommend Joy of Cha for breakfast. Like we really enjoyed it. And then we kind of like bebopped around, we walked around, we did the castle like I said, the storehouse, and then we just like walked down kind of near like Temple Bar, and we did like souvenirs, and we just like got some stuff. Like I bought some whiskey, postcards, some t-shirts, like kind of just did our last minute shopping. And then we met my friend Aoife, who was on episode 3. Yeah, so literally caught up with Aoife, which was so freaking nice. Like we went to the Market Bar, which they do like tapas, so like small plates, and so we just ordered like a bunch of food, got like a jug of sangria, caught up, so fun. And then we kind of made our own like bar crawl. So right next to the Market Bar there is Hogan's, so we went to there, had a drink. Well, the other place that we went after Hogan's was Bad Bob's, and they have like on all the bars and pubs there, everybody was doing live music, and it was just like freaking awesome, like little mini concerts in all these pubs. So we went to Bad Bob's, and then I don't really know where we went, but like Temple Bar, like all that areas is like all these bars. So basically just like walk around and pick a spot that you want to go into, because that's what we did, and we had so much fun. And then past like this bar crawl, and we listened to where they were going, and so we kind of like walked into where they were going, and then it didn't really look that poppin', so we went into a different spot, and then that is where we said goodbye to Aoife. And that place was just like super crowded, and like we didn't want to wait in line to go get drinks. We're like, oh, why don't we go back to where the bar crawl was going, because like it didn't look that packed. Well, when we walk in there, there's like an upper level, then there's like a down level, and then there was like some proper Irish music. It was just like so fun, and that's when we like really started getting going. We were doing Jaeger shots and just like started drinking, and it was good. And then when their music downstairs stopped, so then we went upstairs, and then I almost was like, all right, I'm getting kind of tired, like what are we doing? And then Alice was like, oh well, I could go to one more place. And so then we're like kind of walking to like the more famous Temple Bar, because it's Temple like bar area, so like all of them are called Temple Bar, but then there's like the one, it's like, I will like post about it, it's like all these pretty lights are hanging from it. And so we're like, okay, let's go to one more spot. Well, we hit up
one spot, we were just vibing there, and like we just were fucking pounding Jaeger shots, like, oh my gosh. But we had like a really good time there. And like also just like a little freaking side note about what like happened there. Like, I don't understand why guys just like act so out of pocket. Like, we literally had these two random ass guys come up to our table. One of them tried to put his arm around me. I was like, can you like back off? Like, I don't know what you thought, like we were approachable enough for you to come up in our shit, but like, please leave. Like, please leave. Like, it was so uncomfortable and so weird that we just like looked at each other, like we had our shots, and they're like, take your shots. And we're like, can you fuck off? Like, actually, like, fuck off. And so eventually they got the hint, but I was just like, I don't know what you thought in your head for you to like, first of all, come up and shove yourself into our space and then try to put your arm around me. Like, the fuck? No. And so that like happened, and that was just like so irritating. I bet a lot of ladies can fucking resonate with that, because guys just act out of pocket and then think it's okay. And I'm just like, fuck off. But so then we partied there, and then we went to Temple Bar, kind of hung out there for like 2 seconds, and then we just like walked back to our hostel. And so that was like our party night in Dublin. Like, it was a vibe, and we had a really good time. Like, yeah. And then waking up the next morning was kind of rough. Like, ooh, I was not feeling my best. And we walked to Social Fabric Cafe. Bomb. Like, so good. So 100% recommend them as well. Like, I got the vegetarian. I don't know. I can't remember what I got, but know that I liked it. I recommend it. I took a video of it, and it was good. But overall, like, being back in Rome, like, full circle, holy shit, this has been an epic fucking trip. I feel like when I get home, I'll kind of do like a recap. I know I'm going to do what's in my bag, kind of just like go over like this whole experience in a whole. Just because like right now I kind of want to like properly like actually thoroughly like think about the trip and everything, and go over my favorite place and just my favorite experience, and just like really kind of tidy up this whole adventure and this whole trip. We leave and go home tomorrow, and I'm ready. I'm excited to go home. Just kind of excited to like get back into like life and real world. And yeah, so that is my update, and kind of this is the end. Yeah, that's it.
Before ending the episode, I did want to just say thank you so much for all of you for listening and coming along for my adventures. And I hope me documenting and creating all of this has helped you and has inspired you to do a trip like this for yourself and to do it with your best friend. Allie and I didn't get along every part of the way. Like, we have been friends for so long, but I do want to make this a point that there were times when Allie and I were both frustrated with each other, but we are on a whole other level of friendship, of sisterhood, of being just so honest and just connected as best friends. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'll take her craziness. She'll take my craziness. We are best friends, and I just can't wait until the other part of our trio, Miss Fallon McBride, is along for these adventures as well. But I did want to add that because I didn't want everybody to think that it was just perfect with traveling with your best friend, because it wasn't some of the times. We didn't fight a lot, didn't get on each other's nerves a lot. Like, we traveled very, very well together. Like, the expectation, the effort, we were both doing shit. And that's really important, because I think that because I love to plan things and do all of that, the burden can be put on me. And it was really nice to have Allie as a travel partner, because it was an equal load. So wanted to add that. If you want to see visuals of this trip, you can go check out Mom Fine's Instagram, or you can check out my Instagram. It is Lexi Brown with 3 N's, and then Mom Fine is just at Mom Fine. So happy days, and I'll see you guys when I see you.